Do you find yourself thinking about what is going on in New York City at all?
Sometimes I do. I just don't really know what I'm thinking about at the like sometimes I just think about it in the middle of my day, like when I'm supposed to be doing something else.
So when you start thinking about it, what are you thinking about?
I usually think it not in a school day. I think about it when I'm watching the news. Really about it. But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what does it make you think about?
It just makes me think about, I don't know, it's just crazy what's happening in New York, because it's the most craziest thing there that's happening for the coronavirus. So, and there's the most people there.
Right.
And we know a lot of people that are there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right. But you're glad that we left.
Yeah.
Correct?
Uh-huh.
Even though that's home, you're glad we left.
Right.
What do you hope for in 2021?
I hope for that. Hopefully we can see people again. And I can have play dates again with friends.
Yeah, me too.
And I can be as a class again, so I can see a lot more people at once, which will be nice.
Yeah, that would be nice. And today is a little show and tell, so what are you going to show and tell?
I just lost my first 2 teeth. And as you can see, there are 2 growing in.
All right, so?
So it happened by a year ago, so before the pandemic. I went to the dentist, and they took an x-ray, my first x-ray on my teeth. So the dentist noticed that they were the slivers, very slivery.
Slivery?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Slivery teeth.
Slivery teeth? What does that mean?
That means the thinnest start there. Then?
Thin?
Yeah.
So slivers, what? Slivers were in between your teeth?
No, thin, and then just tiny bit, a little high, just a tiny bit.
Those teeth going in behind.
Yeah.
Oh, little slivers of the teeth behind. Got it.
So she noticed that.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, you'll get a wiggly tooth soon. So that was true. I just lost those 2 that she said I was going to lose. And now they were getting really wiggly. I only had 1 that was wiggly at first. And then the second one was wiggly after the first one, and that one came out first. That's pretty crazy.
What are your favorite type of fiction stories?
Fiction, my favorite type of just any book is just, I like any book that doesn't have chapters, but I do like chapter books because they can also give you more information.
True.
Because they're longer.
Are you going to be doing fiction writing at school too, like making up stories?
I think that's the last one.
Huh. That could be fun. You could just
No, but
come
that's
up with any
fiction.
idea.
The last one is fiction series writing.
Fiction series writing?
Yeah, so a series. You make a fiction book.
Uh-huh.
You make a fiction book, but then you turn that book and then you make a series.
Oh, just like
Junie B. Jones.
Right. Junie B. Jones. My
Is
goodness.
very funny.
She's wacky.
And the first time we read it, Mom was laughing like crazy.
Yeah, I had to take over.
Just like Dragons Love Tacos. She was laughing like crazy.
What book was that?
Dragons Love Tacos. I like that one.
Yeah.
Remember when she was laughing like crazy?
So let's reveal it. What are we talking about this week?
National Artichoke Day!
So, would you say National Artichoke Day is one of your favorite holidays?
Yeah, because I love eating artichokes, and we had them last week, so, and they're just my favorite appetizer, and they're simple to make, and you can make simple sauces also to go with that.
I started reading a lot of things about how to talk to kids about certain things at different ages, and look, and I also think every kid is different, how you speak to them, and the number one thing was just making sure that your child understands that that your child is safe, and that you will do everything you can to protect them. That's your job as parents. So that's what Mom and I will always do. But there was also some things written about, you shouldn't tell your child certain things because then they're going to be thinking about it. It'll make them anxious. It'll put different thoughts in their heads, which I understand, but I also think that every child is different, and so you know your child, and you know what they can handle and absorb, and what the world is really like.
Mm-hmm.
And we talk about a lot of things. Yeah. And if there's anything ever that, and on this podcast I've been talking a lot more than you have, but if there's anything that you really want to talk about when it comes to anything that's difficult, it might be a difficult conversation, that you can just ask.
Okay.
All right. I love you.
I love you so much. Hi, and welcome back to another episode of the Follow-Up Podcast. I'm Eden, and this is my dad, Noah, and every week we sit on my bed and have a different conversation about something I want to talk about. And this week we're talking about my start of school.
Do you feel like it's wild that you're a second grader?
No.
No?
No.
But you remember things from pre-K, right? Or even 3-year-old school, or more so from kindergarten?
Most of kindergarten.
Okay, so think back to kindergarten, and now think back to where the second graders were. Maybe you saw the second graders, and you might have been thinking, oh my God, am I ever going to be that big? And now you are. Alright, I love you.
Hi, and welcome back to another episode of The Follow-Up. I'm Eden, and this is my dad, Noah, and every week we sit on my bed and have a conversation about something I want to talk about. And this week, we're going to talk about some of my favorite book series.
What was so great about Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing?
Oh, it's hilarious. So one point, I'll tell you the funniest part.
Okay.
So it's Peter, the older brother, has a turtle. No, wait.
Wrong book?
No, wait. I'm thinking what the turtle's name was.
Oh.
Well, he's a turtle.
Don't worry about it,
Let's just say he's a turtle. And then one day, Fudge eats the turtle. Swallows the turtle.
What?
Swallows it.
On purpose?
Yes. He
How?
swallowed the turtle. He took it and swallowed it, I guess.
With the shell on and everything? And what did Peter do?
So then Peter got mad at him.
Yeah. Understandable.
And then they got Peter a dog.
Can't swallow the dog.
And he named it. Guess what he named it?
Fudge.
Turtle.
Turtle. If you don't do this, then we're not friends. Well, you got to be able to have confidence in yourself,
Right.
to then stand up for yourself. So how have you handled that? Because I do know that this comes up.
Right. So I feel like it's never true stuff. It's never true.
What do you mean?
Like, when they say that it's, like, even if you don't do it and they say you're not friends, that's literally just that moment, really.
Just that moment.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and even if it's, let's say, even if it's longer, it's, like, it's, like we just talked about, it's, like, if you, like, follow what your mind wants to do and what you want to do.
And what you think is right.
And
yeah.
what you think is right. Even if they're not going to be your friend.
Right, and as you said, and something we've talked about a lot, if someone says that to you, they're not really your friend. And 2, it's just in that moment. Anyway, they're going to forget about it. But I do know that it's tough to hear and then think, well, oh my God, she says she's not going to be my friend, but I do want her to be my friend. But if someone is going to say that to you, then they're really not your friend. But how else could you, and I know we've discussed this, how else could you handle that? If someone says, if you don't let me have some of your lunch, or if you don't play with us today, I'm not going to be your friend. How else could you handle it?
You could also say something into the moment to them about how that's not fair, and that you should tell other people how you would want to be treated. Because, like, let's just say that, like, you're one of my friends,
Okay.
and you're saying that you could say I could say to you why it was fair and that I wouldn't treat you that way, so don't treat me that way, because if you treat me that way, I'm going to treat you that way, and no one wants that.
Right. So, and you say in the moment, and yes, exactly right. And something else you could say is, so you're willing to throw away our entire friendship because I don't want to play that game with you today? Think about that. Have you ever been in that situation where you've said, wait a second, you say you don't want to be my friend just because of that? Then what are we doing anyway?
Right. Yeah.
Right. Think about that. Think about the big picture.
Hi, and welcome back to another episode of The Follow-Up. I'm Eden, and it's my dad, Noah, and every week we sit on my bed and have a conversation about something we want to talk about. And since we usually talk about topics worldwide or on the news, this week we are going to talk about the mass school shooting in Uvalde, Texas.
I think it's just important that we talk about it so that you know that if you have questions, thoughts, fears, anything that is making you scared or emotional or feel any certain way, that you should feel that you can talk to us about it. Any question, any feeling. So that morning, I didn't say to you so are you scared about going to school? Are you sad? How are you feeling? Just because I can't force you to feel certain things, and I want you to take your time to process it, because things come in different waves.
People are just always walking up to me to say, I'm taller than you. I'm taller than you. You're smaller than me. But I think, for me, it's just it's ridiculous that you are trying to intimidate me by saying that you are taller. Why do I care? It's not like I'm too short. I'm a regular person.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's not like I'm any different from you.
Maybe something physically that you haven't been able to done that you think, oh, all right, well, I'd like to be able to do that now.
I want to get across the monkey bars and maybe back. And I also, we just have the part, there's a small bar that's just straight.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to be able to, because I can do one pull-up, but I have to jump up and push. I jump and then get up. So I want to be able to go up, down, up, but not fall down. Two up and down. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't do that at your age.
Hi, and welcome back to another episode of The Follow-Up. I'm Eden, and this is my dad, Noah, and every week for almost the past 3 years, we've been sitting on my bed and having a conversation about something we want to talk about. And this week, we're going to talk hoops.
What's your basketball routine?
So in the morning, we'll always check the basketball,
The box
scores.
Yeah.
Box scores. See how everyone played. We'll see. Sometimes it'll be, crazy scores. So we'll be wait, the Rockets beat Dallas? Who played? What happened?
Mm-hmm.
Crazy things like that. Or sometimes we'll just check the scores. But also we do fantasy basketball together. So that's always fun, checking how our team did and all those players.
Mm-hmm. And which has been disappointing this year because we've had so many injuries.
Our whole team, I think every player on our team has been injured.
So right now, the season started off with Desmond Bain getting hurt pretty early.
Yeah.
John Collins got hurt pretty early.
Also, Cade Cunningham.
Well, yeah, right, of course. Cade Cunningham out for the year, so he was our second round pick.
And
Embiid was the number 3 pick.
Just got hurt.
And now he's out.
Oh, yeah.
He was number 3 pick in our draft.
First round pick.
Yeah, he was just the number 3 pick, and that was us. So we faced all sorts of injuries, but you just got to figure it out.
I wouldn't want to be mean to you I wouldn't want someone to be mean to me, basically.
Right. What's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole lot easier to be kind than it is to be mean to somebody. Yeah. It's almost like being mean.
It's hard.
You have to go out of your way to be mean.
It's basically there's a brick wall between kind and mean, but you're usually on the kind side. You have to break the bricks with your hands, basically, to be on the mean.
Yeah, you gotta like think about it and try to do it, which
it's
makes it
who
disappointing.
wants to?
Yeah, why would you want to spend your time doing that?
Yeah.
But I'm glad the way you handled it, and I would just continue to handle it that way, and eventually you'll find people with enough respect for themselves and self-esteem and self-respect for themselves that they have that same type of respect for you. Yeah. I'm proud of you. Love you.
Love you. So they came in and they said, you have to fill out this application by Monday. So I'm like, yeah, this seems like something for me. So I applied, and...
So what was the application process?
So you just had to answer some questions.
Elaborate.
About...
This is what this whole thing is about.
Right, elaborating.
So elaborate.
About the 3 P's. They were punctuality, presence,
okay,
and...
I don't remember.
Presence.
Presence. So 2 presents? Presence and presence?
Yeah, presence.
Okay.
Yeah, it's confusing a little bit. So you had to answer about using these things, what would make you a great member, what you can do. Also, we had to, why am I blanking on it now? Question about what we can do to spread kindness and what we love about kindness.
Okay.
Yeah, there's things like that.
Okay.
Like that.
Yeah.
But then, on Monday, what do you know? I got it.
Mm-hmm.
So then,
So how did that? So what was that? What was that like? How did you find out?
Both of them came in.
The principal and the head of this committee.
Yes. No, the principal's the head of the committee.
The principal and somebody else.
Yes.
Okay.
But they're not really in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the organizers. Okay.
Yeah, just one of the organizers.
Okay.
So they come in and they give a drum roll for everybody, and your name gets announced, and you feel amazing, and everybody comes up and hugs you.
Describe your. This is you haven't really applied for things before. So yeah, but how did you feel when all right? So you knew it was going to be on Monday when they came in.
So they came on a Wednesday.
Or Wednesday. How did you feel leading up to it that morning and when they came in?
So nervous.
Yeah. So
I had flutters in my stomach.
Yeah.
And then I also flutters in my stomach when they came in.
Yeah.
But then I was so shocked, surprised, proud, excited, happy. Like all the great words. Joyful.
Mm-hmm.
Things that come off the top of my mind.
Okay.
Happy. And I was just like, yes!
Mm-hmm.
First day of Sunshine and Rainbows Committee. We learn about what this committee is about. It's all about Teacher Appreciation Week.
Mm-hmm.
So every day we will be going into classrooms and giving out little treats and just things to say thank you.
So where do you want to start?
Let's start with one of my favorite books that I just read a little bit ago. It's called City Spies. It is by James Ponty.
Okay.
This is a mystery, and I love this book so much because it involves kids who are very complicated. They have a lot to them.
Okay.
And their stories and everything. And it's such a suspenseful mystery.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's funny reading it after COVID-19 happened because in this book, they have to prevent somebody from releasing a deadly virus. So I think it's funny reading it after COVID-19.
Yeah, so was this book written before COVID or after COVID?
I'm not sure.
Let's take a look. And you're not going to, in any of the books we talk about, no spoilers here, obviously.
Very hard.
So this was, first paperback edition was 2021. Right. So it was copyright 2020. So maybe, I don't know. I mean, maybe it was written, I don't know. I mean, that's wild. So maybe it was written just around the same time. I don't know.
I have no idea.
Yeah, that would be pretty wild.
Maybe they started writing it. It was like a pandemic book.
Maybe. So when you say the characters are complicated, they have a lot to them, explain that a little bit further.
There are character relationships are changing. Character traits change a lot through the story. And just their feelings for one another. like being around people, and there's a lot of things happen in this book. Hi, and welcome back to another episode of The Problem. I'm Eden, and this is my dad Noah, and every week we just sit on my bed and have a conversation about something we want to talk about. And this week, we're going to give out some awards to our favorite Trader Joe's products. And this is inspired by the Trader Joe's podcast, and they just gave out some customer choice awards, so we decided, let's do our own.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have any favorite products that you love that we didn't mention on here, we would love to hear from you. Best dessert. I love this category. Chocolate babka. All right, I think that's the best babka I've ever had.
We've had a lot of babkas.
Yeah, I have, and that is the best. It is so good.
What makes it so good?
It's very chocolatey, but it's not too chocolatey. It's not dry. It has a nice balance in between everything.
How would you describe? You said it's not dry, so how would you describe
it? It's moist.
Mm-hmm.
It
on the bottom
melts in your mouth.
On the bottom, it gets
a little crispy, I guess.
No, that's on top. On top. On the bottom, I think it gets a little gooey.
Yeah.
And that's great because there's certain situations where you're going to be in that you have no other choice. You have to figure out a way. So that way might work one day, it might not work the next day, but you're constantly trying to figure out, okay, what is the best way for me to do this and for me to come out on the other side feeling accomplished. And you want to allow yourself to feel that sense of accomplishment when that could be through a social situation, it could be through an athletic situation, it could be through an academic situation, whereas you're not going to get to that other side every single day. You just have to not look at, okay, well, if I didn't do it today, I failed. That's not the case.
It's just like taking one step at a time in the right direction.
Yeah, and taking pride in, okay, I took this step today.
And
great, let me build on that tomorrow.
Like even like handling hard, even if it's just like a personality trait. Like, even, let's say you're very shy. Let's say.
Okay.
Handling, let's say you're not great, like around people. Taking a step, like handling that hard better. If you're not a very social person, would be more confident in yourself. Just like getting yourself out there, and that's a step in the right direction. You're handling that hard situation better.
Mm-hmm. And recognizing that other people are going through difficult situations and being able to talk to them about it and being able to open up about it and finding your advocates who might be other kids, might be other adults to help you through it. But it's never going to be up to somebody else to do this for you.
No.
You have to be all in.